Welcome to Micro Center, our wonderful sponsors.
Okay, we'll turn the audio down. It's fine.
Hey guys, this is Jay, and we're here at, I can't even do that with this.
Copyrighted infringement.
If you say I digress, I'm coming after you. Anyway, what's up guys? Hey, JayzTwoCents here at the Micro Center in Indianapolis, Indiana. I know it looks a lot like our Tustin store we're used to, but Micro Center, our sponsor, who's flown myself and Austin out here for some fun shenanigans, has just opened a brand new store in Indianapolis. But you guys probably already know that if you're in the area. So anyway, we got some fun stuff planned for today. Let's go and talk about it. Get amazing prices on the brands you love at Micro Center. Micro Center has over 30,000 items in stock, including desktops, laptops, computer components, monitors, TVs, and more. Not sure which parts to choose for your next build? Then use Micro Center's custom PC builder to find compatible parts, create your parts list, add them to your cart, and use same-day pickup at one of Micro Center's 25 locations nationwide. And if you're not comfortable building it, one of Micro Center's professional builders can build it for you as fast as same day for a fee. And if you need ideas for a build, then head to Micro Center's Build Showcase for great build inspiration, or submit your build for others to see. To see everything that Micro Center has to offer, click the link in the description below. So anyway, if you guys don't know what Micro Center is, it is literally like tech heaven. It doesn't matter if you're into computers or console gaming or sim racing or even Apple products, they have everything here in the store. We'll do a little tour if you guys have never seen one, but that's not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is Austin and I are gonna be going head to head to see who can build the better budget PC, 750 bucks for the tower, and then we're gonna kind of put those head to head. So how are you feeling about this? I mean, I do PC all day, every day. You just kind of do it here and there, so.
No, but here's the thing. You're at a massive disadvantage. You're used to doing things the right way. I'm used to doing things the jank way.
I think my audience would say I'm pretty familiar with the jank.
Well, you know what? But your jank is still, look, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. That's just the bottom line.
I'm gonna have to change the way I approach this. I already know that. I already know the fact that you've been cheating and looking at parts and stuff, and I'm like, I'm doing this all
I was in the airport for 11 hours yesterday.
Not my problem.
I did nothing but spend all my time on microcenter.com.
I know how to book a flight. I got here on time. Okay, so enough of that. The short guy needs to go. Go back to your corner. We are gonna pick some parts and see what we can get to before this guy gets his greedy little hands on it. So they actually have a bunch of Apple products here. I think a lot of people think Micro Center is all PC and Android and stuff like that. No, they've got everything here. And you'll notice the design cues of the store really do look like exactly like the Tustin store. And that's because of the brand new stores and then the store remodels they've been doing are all this new modern kind of aesthetic. I love the way this all looks. See, the cool thing too is like every monitor they sell is out on display. So there's none of this like trying to check online to see like, oh, what are people saying about it? You can use your own eyeballs to at least see what they look like in their display mode. So they're here next to each other. You can kind of check out the different brightnesses and color saturations. Buying a monitor is hard when all you can do is look at it in the specs list. So when you actually see it powered on, it's a huge thing. Sick, they even sell coasters. 3D printing, I got that too. It's actually a really good print. I should hire whoever did this. Yep, TVs, they got them. Well, how the turntables. Okay, all shenanigans aside, we're in the BYOC, which is build your own computer. I'm telling you right now, if you guys have ever tried to shop for PC parts, it is an absolute godsend to come to Micro Center. But I need to start actually thinking about this because I have a pesky little YouTuber to crush. 750 bucks, that's hard. That's hard because so there's the main components we gotta get. Computer case or something to put them in. I know Austin's gonna try cardboard box, that little asshole. CPU, so a case, CPU, motherboard, memory, storage, graphics. Yeah, so we got those 6 major components and I've got to fit $750 in there. And I've already talked about the fact many times, like the graphics card cost alone should not exceed or at least a third of the total cost of the budget. But my reputation and my honor is on the line, so we might break that rule a little today. For this price point, I'm gonna have to go AMD. I'm gonna have to probably go AM4. Hopefully they have enough AM4 stuff here. Typically in those lower price points, it's not hard to find a micro ATX board because that's where the manufacturer saves some money by making the board smaller. So 54, 64 bucks. Let's go look at main components to see if I can end up going with that $54 case. Oh, but the Cooler Master Maker Box 5000 Master Maker box is only 39 bucks and it's also micro ATX. See, here's my problem. I know for a fact Austin's gonna try and omit a case entirely from the budget and add that to the GPU budget. I don't want to do that. I want this to be like, sorry for the noise, before opening they have to get the store ready to open, but I don't want to do that. This isn't Scrapyard Wars. This is just building a budget PC, and it needs to have a case, because how would I feel if at the end of the day I'm like, I beat Austin, here's your cardboard box full of parts to whoever's winning it, because we are giving these systems away. I don't know if I even mentioned that.
Jay. Hey, buddy! I found a great deal. This is it makes your PC faster, and the RGB gives you extra points.
Everyone knows that, though. Are you just learning this?
Oh no! I'm sharing some wisdom. You should buy that.
It's like stickers on a car. We know the more the better. So don't get confused by the names. Some of the Intel and AMD names seem similar. It'd be very embarrassing if you had an Intel CPU and an AMD motherboard.
You can't put an Intel.
They can go together. It's just it's not going to work. So we have an A520 motherboard here. There's nothing super special about it. It's 3rd gen Ryzen ready already because it'll work with all 5000 series CPUs. $69. You know, but the thing is, like, we're talking now A520 versus B450, and my biggest concern, like I've already said, is whether or not, 5000 desktop ready. Okay, that works. That works. Does the Gigabyte one say that so I don't have to buy an Asus? Yeah, 5000 series ready. I could have just looked at that at the start. There we go, we're good. So we only have 2 components so far. Storage, $29.99 for a 1 terabyte, 5,000 megabytes per second. There's probably better deals out there. If you guys aren't aware, Inland is actually Micro Center's in-house brand. So this isn't an ad or a baked-in ad. Just if you're worried about, because you don't recognize the name, because it's a Micro Center drive, you can get it serviced and warranted at any Micro Center. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so I have my first component, $79.99. It is a Micro ATX board. It's a B450 that has been updated for 5000 series. So this gives us a little bit more headroom. It's only, it's technically $10 more than that A520, but this is a better board in terms of features. So let's go around, spy on Austin real quick, and see what CPU we can throw in this guy. Actually, no, let's go to GPUs. I think realistically, most of this is gonna hinge on the GPU, and I think at the price point that we're shopping, I think it's pretty obvious that we're gonna have to go with AMD. But we do have a pretty good deal here at $229 for a 6650. We've got a Power Color Fighter 7600 for $269, which is not a bad deal. But I mean, remember how I said I like to stick to about 1/3 of my budget as GPU? $269 is quite a bit more than 1/3 of 750. So that's the challenge here. Like, we have a 189 for 6600 Eagle, which would have been great, but as you can see, unless they somehow grabbed it, that I doubt he's gonna try and go higher than that. I know him. So I went with the RX 6650 XT Challenger, mostly because of the fact that it's the best price to, well, there's more expensive cards, and I could have gone more jank if I wanted on the build to save money, like I know Austin's gonna do. But the 6650 XT is a great bargain. $229, it's not bad. I would have loved to have maybe found like a 6600 non-50, if that makes sense, to save like even like 15, 20 bucks. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, that generation's slowly disappearing. Is this right? G-Skill Ripjaws, 32 gigabytes, 2 times 16 gigabyte sticks, 3200 CL16 for $24. I'm worried, is the board gonna, it should recognize 2 16 gig sticks? I'd love a 16 gig kit. Dude, oh, they do have a 16 gig kit for $17, but they're out of stock on that. You guys don't have any more of these $17 kits hanging out anywhere, do you?
We're gonna have to check out and see if they got a few.
And if you do have more, you only have 1 more. Don't let them know.
Okay.
All right, so unfortunately, they're out of stock on that $17 kit. Now, the reason why the prices are so low, these are grand opening deals. So if you're watching this video after the fact, obviously come down here before these deals end, because the amount of off MSRP is absolutely ridiculous right now. I'm still getting 32 gigabytes, DDR4, CL16, 3200 megahertz for 25 bucks.
Yeah. So basically, every thread is 1 more FPS. So if you want to play like 60 FPS, you need a 60-core processor minimum. So this is actually 64. So you can play at a smooth 64 frames per second. It's only $7,000.
But my TV only goes to 60.
Well, you'll have a couple extras, you know, for future expansion.
In case a couple go bad.
You never know.
I'm gonna keep the straight face. Dude, the in-store like deals right now are insane with the store opening sales. Anyway, this is a Ryzen 5 5500. Yeah, I'm aware that it's not like an X or an overclocking processor. Remember, we already didn't go with like super high-end motherboard for that very reason. But it's 6 cores, 12 threads. It's gonna work with our motherboard. It's $89.99, and it has a box cooler. So I could save the money, because it's not overclocked. I don't need to put like a Hyper 212 or anything on there. I can save the 30, 40 bucks a cooler would have cost. Now I'm starting to look like I could step up the GPU potentially. But part of our benchmarks do include 2 CPU components. So if you cheap out too far on the CPU and you lose there and you go really heavy on, this is how I won Scrapyard Wars, to be honest. I won Scrapyard Wars by making sure it was balanced. Linus went all in on GPU and forgot about like overall CPU. I don't want to make the same mistake he does, because we all learn through Linus's mistakes. This is my total so far. So I have a feeling we're going to be able to jump up a GPU tier and possibly even a CPU tier. Maybe we need to do a test and store video, $500 challenge? I think I'm gonna go with this guy right here. It's a partial modular, 650 watt. It'll grow within the amount of power that, remember we're giving this away. Now, if the person upgrades it later, I wanted them to be able to upgrade their system. I have $230 available to me. If you guys are ever going in the store and you're trying to like figure out if you have all your parts, build it in your cart. So there's your motherboard, there's your CPU, there's your RAM, right? There's your storage, there's your GPU, and there's your power supply. You can literally do this in the cart. I don't know if people have ever thought of this before, but there's your system. So I now know we can up this. Now, one of the things I feel like I should have done is there's a bonus component for every dollar under budget you come in. Maybe that's 1% for every dollar increase in your score. That would have been fun. Let's go run that by them real quick and see how they respond. Hey guys. Hey guys. How do you feel about making things more interesting?
No, it's interesting enough. I don't think we should change a thing. In fact, I would argue so far as to say that time has passed. But what's your idea?
For every dollar you come in under budget, you get a 1% increase in your score.
Wait, every dollar, so if I come in $100 under budget, right, I have then improved my score by 100%.
And the lower you go, the more higher it goes.
Jay, I just got my system done. That's gonna make me redo the whole thing.
Your system was done in San Francisco when you were sitting at like your 6-hour layover.
If we do that, then we're gonna literally just be like, who can go, like, it's gonna be like a game of chicken of who can build like the $500 system versus the 4 versus 3.
Right, but then you have to really count on, because you know how exponential the scores are.
I just did a lot of calculations on my system, and I don't appreciate you making me redo it all right now with 40 minutes before the store opens. You really want to start from scratch here?
Who said anything about starting from scratch?
Okay, Jay, I get it. You gotta compensate. That's fine. I'm happy to oblige. I'm confident enough in my skills to completely redo everything in the next 40 minutes and win.
I feel like there should have been something on the line. Loser has to, I don't know, go outside and wave a Micro Center sign for a day.
No.
Could you imagine driving down the street? Is that Jay with a Micro Center sign?
Okay. Deal, my friend.
All right. I still have to change my parts though. Okay, so I referenced my my own spreadsheets from our benchmarks and stuff. What we've done now is we've done some calculations here on, see, we need to now, hi there.
Hi, I just kind of come check in. Did you know that there are NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel options here? There's a wide selection, and they're all great prices. I've heard that the 40 series NVIDIA, everyone loves those. You should buy one of those.
The cost of the value is insane.
It's literally off the charts. Don't ask what chart it is. It's off one of them.
Well, Steve's got 48 of those charts, so
well,
we'll
that's
just
great.
pick one.
Okay, cool. I don't mind me. I'm just wrapping my head around.
You just window shopping?
I just wondered, just, as I do. See you later. Good luck. Have fun.
These are not going to really be overclockable. You can hear every time he walks by.
Like the squeaky.
What is this? Now, we don't have any ray tracing in our benchmarks. We're just doing superposition and time spy non-extreme, and then we're doing Geekbench 6 and Cinebench R23 for our CPU score. We just checked our benchmarks. The 7600 is actually slightly outperforming in time spy extreme the 4060. Now, if we had RT tests in this, which I kind of wish I'd thrown some in there now, I would have taken the RT advantage in the 4060, but now I'm taking the 20% additional performance uplift with the 7600. Prediction time, I have a feeling that he went with possibly an Intel ARC card. I really do. And the thing is, I do not really know how Intel's ARC performs at like superposition. And I know when it came to like a lot of our benchmarks in terms of synthetics, some that performed really well, like it did well in time spy and stuff. We should check that. do you have your phone, Phil? So I just asked him if I open it and close it again, can we open box discount it? I'm not kidding. $199 now, right?
Sir.
Yes! Oh, I should be careful with that.
Oh my God.
See, Micro Center loves me. So I just spent 3 days hanging out with Linus and crew at LTX, and I would not have thought about literally just being like, can we do this? Because Linus has no shame, period. I'm gonna start asking more often stuff. So that one question made it fair on our GPU side and gained me 50% improvement in our score by asking a few words. If I open it myself, is it open box? I know the audience is thinking, well, then all the parts are gonna be open box. Nope, this is the purchasing phase. Once we're back there, it's no longer, you can't then say I'm opening the boxes, therefore. I just literally cheated, which is fine, but he cheated because he spent 10 hours shopping, I didn't. This is massive, my new total is $529.90. That's insane. So that means minus 750. Now I have a 220.1%. Yeah, because we just saved $80 from a 7600 to an A750. And by checking our charts, the A750 was beating the 7600. So in me just like kind of figuring out that Austin had an A750, he was gonna destroy us. Just with that performance to cost alone. Now through my tomfoolery, we have a completely even playing field. And he told me he's gonna print me an open box label to make it legit. I mean, it has today's date and everything on it, but that's perfectly fine. Legit. Okay, so obviously now we have spent the last 2 hours picking our parts and throwing a wrench in things, because I knew for a fact you were gonna be pre-shopping, which was just like, that's cheating, because I did not pre-shop at all.
Look, I'm not.
I knew I was in trouble when you were like, they don't have a lot of open box stuff. I'm like, how would I know that? How would they know
You can't
that?
tell me that I'm cheating when I did my research. I'm trying to make sure that I'm coming in
The
as
spirit of
informed
the
as
competition
possible.
was you show up and you put your knowledge to the test.
So you're saying that you shouldn't watch a JayzTwoCents video before you go into Micro Center to build your PC?
Don't ever watch one of my videos for advice. For the live audience right behind us here, what we did was we had a $750 build challenge, and we were gonna see who could have the fastest computer at, we were gonna do Cinebench, we were gonna do Geekbench, we were gonna do TimeSpy, non-extreme, and superposition, like non-RT stuff. But what that came up with in the middle of shopping was, for every dollar under budget is 1% score increase. So now you're like, oh, so how much do we rely on practical score versus artificial score?
Basically, Jay was losing, so he changed the rules right before we started building.
It was the only way I knew that all the shopping you had done would no longer matter.
So here's the thing. I only had to change one component and the rest of my system was exactly the same.
Same here. 1, 2, 3.
GPU.
Okay, so we'll go through the parts list here. We'll start with the little stuff, the stuff we think probably are gonna match. So SSD?
SSD. I mean,
Yep.
obviously, Inland Prime. Yeah.
$24.99, 1 terabyte drive.
Should we do RAM? Because I think
do
maybe we
RAM.
got the same RAM. Ripjaws?
$24.99.
You can't beat this.
$24.99, 32 gigabyte kit of DDR4, CL16 3200. Power supply.
Power supply. Yeah, you're not gonna like my power supply. The white Thermaltake 500 for $41.99.
I went with the 650 watt power spec.
$74.
No, that's not what it costs. This is the balance of knowing I was giving it away. I didn't want to give something away that, look, I look at it this way. If something was returned, I don't know why it was returned, but I don't want to maybe have that person have to deal with that return again. This was $64.99.
I just want to win, so I got the cheapest things possible.
Okay, so this is where now we're gonna start feeling the separation. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
go first on motherboard.
Motherboard. Okay, yeah.
And it's funny, the board that you went with, because I just saw it.
Yeah.
I was considering it. So I went with an
Oh,
B450. So anyway, there's a combo deal with $20 off if you get a motherboard and a CPU. We decided we're not gonna include the combo, we're just gonna go with the MSRP
actual
pricing.
prices.
Yeah, and the price on here is not what we pay.
how much is that one?
This one is...
This one was $70.
$79.
Oh. Ooh, only $10 more actually. But hey, 10% performance. You know what they say about 10%? It's good.
Your desire to win is so bigger than your dedication to the audience, it's sad.
Yeah, I want to win. Someone's gonna get a bunch of free stuff. You can swap something out. I just want to win. Okay.
Okay, our last
CPU or
CPU.
Okay.
I have a feeling we are definitely different on this one.
We are most certainly different.
All right, what do you got?
Ryzen 5 3600.
Ooh, see, I considered that.
Yeah?
I did consider that. I went with a 5500.
Oh, that's a
6
actually
core,
good idea.
12 thread, newer generation Ryzen processor cores.
Eight
So we're
lanes of
talking
PCI.
Zen 3. What's that?
Isn't it 8 lanes of PCI on that? On the standard 5500?
It's not going to matter with our GPU selections
Fair.
because
fair.
we're still talking PCIe Gen 4.
How much was that?
89?
What? No, it's not.
Yes,
no,
it is.
That's not true.
89.99. I had it confirmed with Jason.
Oh. Well, I got it at Ryzen 5 3600 for $80 because I thought that was $100. Oh.
No,
well,
but
it's
no,
another
the
10%.
it was 109 that you're thinking. That was one next to it. This was behind the doors covered it.
Okay, all right, let's do GPU.
Yes, and I
Okay.
have a funny story about this one.
Okay, would you like to go first? Because I feel like I always go first.
Okay, so I have an open box A750.
What? What? There were 2 of them?
No. I opened it to inspect it, which made it open box, and they printed me a label for it so that we could make it fair. I said, if I open this, can we call it an open box? And they were like, yeah. So I cut it open, and they printed me a label, so now we have an even playing ground.
I'm about to go sign up for a Micro Center credit card and get a discount on my order right now.
I said, we talked about it, and I wait a minute. How is ARC comparing? Because I had a 7600 in my cart.
yeah.
And the 7600, it's a good deal, but it was $280 for the 7600. These are $249 MSRP, which I was like, oh, that's a great deal. And I went, do you guys have an open box one? They're like, we did.
They ratted me out!
So that's when I went, okay, if I buy at MSRP, you have a 50% advantage. That's when I was like, my inner Linus was like, asked to open it for a discount.
Okay, you know what? I would
That was
normally
smart.
call-
Give it to
I
me.
would- I will give you that. Normally, I would call shenanigans.
I
but-
literally said, I will buy it and return it right now to make it legitimately an open box.
So I'm pretty sure that's not a Micro Center proof strategy. And if you try that and you're not JayzTwoCents, you will
Yeah.
be asked to leave.
It might be considered theft. Don't.
That's the Jay discount. Okay.
I offered to buy it.
Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you did. What did you have for your case?
I have a sneaky suspicion you don't have one.
Whatever would make you think that?
Now, I feel like that's technically cheating only because one of the things that makes it a build is the fact that you have the main components.
I have a case.
Okay, the cardboard box is not a case.
I have a home for my components.
So anyway, this was an MATX Cooler Master Q300L. It was $34. It's literally the cheapest case they have here. And it's micro ATX, so my entire build had to hinge on micro ATX. So I chose this case first and then chose a platform that would work on micro ATX so it fits in here. That way, at the end of the day, when I beat you, it'll still look nicer.
Here's the thing though, how are you gonna beat me? Think about it. You've spent an additional that's 35% off. My system is almost the same and I'm way cheaper. How are you gonna
What was
win
your
this?
total cost?
$441.
So I'm $529.
I've got 100%. You have to double my score to win. You're not gonna do it.
No, it's probably not gonna happen. And I even called that out with the camera. But I said, I feel good enough about the fact that I'm giving a complete
Oh, good guy Jay.
new system?
Giving away a PC with components that he helpfully
New
open
system?
boxed. How convenient. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. 'Cause
I'm not
I
giving
regret
them
it.
4-year-old processor tech.
Oh, sure. Is your power supply gonna explode?
No.
Maybe not. But am I gonna win the benchmarks?
I have to really hope the CPU does not perform, and I'm going to have to overclock this system. And that's exactly how I won Scrap Grid Wars, because we lost until we were losing. We did our preliminary test until I overclocked, and we won by a couple percent. All right. May the best man win.
I'll be done in about 5 minutes.
It would probably take you, no, how long, do you know how to build a computer?
So I put,
Your reaction alone to seeing the open box sticker on this ARC was worth the entire day.
here's the thing. I specifically saw it. I sniped it out of the case so you wouldn't be able to get it because I saw that was clearly the best deal. I will be humble in my victory today.
There's nothing humble about you today.
Not one bit.
Give me a break.
Can we just get a quick check? Who here thinks that Jay built a better looking system? And what about mine? That's pretty close.
That was way closer than I expected it to be.
Okay, what do you think about your system?
Actually, to be honest, the fact that this is under $600,
What was your final total again?
like 520 something. I don't know my phone. It was like 529 or something like that. What?
There's a magnetic dust filter. There you go, there you go.
No, ironically, there are no intake fans on this.
But it looks nicer now.
It does look nice, and you can fit two 140s in the front. So for the build, I know some people are gonna get triggered by it. No, I didn't. I was saving that for whoever gets it to do their own peel. Don't you?
Okay, fine.
So I flipped the power supply fan so it's feeding or getting air from inside the chassis as an exhaust. And we were gonna put the rear fan on the front, so at least we had some crossflow. Yeah. The issue is this particular motherboard doesn't have a single fan header on that side of the board. So the cable wouldn't have reached. And it's got feet on the side panel, so you can also put it as a, lay it down flat.
My system doesn't do any of that. It just
You
sits
can
here.
technically lay it any way you want. But
As long as they stay together. So I'm very proud of this. I'm very happy for the record. Then once you close it up, what you'll see is that it expertly is nice and neat. And because I don't have a power button, I have easy access to jump it using my easy access port.
you don't even have a.
No. This comes with an iFixit kit to jump your computer every time.
Yeah, because other pins nearby are not a problem.
No, what is there anything here that could be a flammable fire hazard
Yes.
or a potential electrical
Yes.
issue?
Yes.
Oh, it's like the apartment all over again.
You know what? And on that note, I shall easily transport my system back over here.
You're disqualified.
All right, here we go. Where's the power button?
Hey!
Okay, it turned on.
No, that's the first one. That's the first one. Now, do we get actual signal?
Okay, it looks like we have we do have a
got signal
standby.
coming.
We have a standby light. First Ryzen post always takes a long time, so now we play the waiting game.
This is not looking promising over on Team J over here.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Maybe it flew a little too close to the sun with that 5500.
Let's see if yours
Okay,
posts.
let's go over to my side. We're gonna flip the switch on my power supply. Woo! Okay, we got
that's a
power.
good
We got
start.
power. Okay.
What time's your flight?
It's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Yes! That was the longest post of my life.
Okay, so we're up and running. A little update. It was actually a bad RAM stick. After I went through changing the CPU more than once, changing the motherboard and thinking it was a BIOS, it actually ended up being a bad RAM stick. I mean, at least if you were to experience something like this is very convenient that we were in the tech bar for all this. But anyway, the tech bar is designed to help you with problems like this with any of your stuff. But if you just choose the Have Micro Center build it, they would deal with all this for you. Okay, so after all of the crap I went through right now to figure out it was just a bad RAM stick after rebuilding the computer twice, basically. Okay, so our 3D Mark score combines 11,704.
Interesting. This is the standard 3D Mark Time Spy. Yours is 11,704. Mine, 11,232. So
That's probably realistically just the 5%.
yeah, because you've got a slight overclock on both CPU and GPU.
Going backwards now with GPU, superposition.
Superposition, so mine is 14,839.
Oh, mine's 14,727. Mine's technically a little bit slower than yours, even though there's an overclock applied to it.
What? Wait,
There's so many.
I mean, to be fair, that is definitely margin of error.
There's so many margins of error in the system.
Geekbench,
8,008.
7522. So that's definitely a little bit more of a substantial win.
The 3600 is much closer to the 5500 than I expected. Cinebench,
9224.
10,270.
So you've definitely got a lead.
Utilizes the difference very closely.
Yeah.
So now we need mathematical Ken over here, Kenneth the robot, to somehow figure out how these scores. We know Austin's already won because of the price difference, right? So what is the total?
actual number?
So my total was $529.90 for this build.
441. Round up 442.
I technically have 220.1% increase to the score.
We'll be right back after we do a whole lot of math. Okay, what is our final score? No.
I've not actually looked
Here's
at
the
this
thing.
monstrosity yet.
It's got support.
It's
from
so
the
warm
cardboard.
still. Why is it so warm still?
What do you mean? It's a. So 143,000.
That multiplier really added up.
It's I think
Maybe it should have been a half a point per dollar.
okay.
For my system, we got
174,000.
Wow, that's actually closer than I thought it was going to be.
actually not that bad. Good fight, my friends.
But the more important thing is we need to give them away. So I think it's time to have, where did he go? We got him with the raffle tickets. We got Jason over there. Let's see if we can't give these away. 4. What's with these double numbers? Wow, look at that. 6, 6, and 4, 4. I mean, what is that all about? All right, man. Are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
I was actually like, this is gonna be for my wife. I've been trying to build her a PC for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was your name again?
Devlin.
Devlin.
Yeah.
So what, the components and stuff that are in here, is there anything already you're like, oh, I want to change that, or are you just going to use it as is?
I think I'm gonna just use it as is. Maybe get a new case. My wife has actually been looking at the Fractal North.
Oh yeah, the North, the
Yeah,
wood and stuff on it,
Yeah,
right?
she likes that one a lot.
It's very nice. It almost looks like a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about this particular MATX motherboard is the fact that it'll fit in any case.
Yeah.
And then now you have a spare case if you don't want to do, or maybe donate it to the, I don't know. But anyway, thanks for hanging around today. It was nice to meet you. And enjoy your new PC.
Yeah, thanks.
If I was gonna lose to anything, I guess a cardboard monstrosity sort of. You know, I've wanted to do a video like this for so long. I just can't bring myself to do it. I've made cardboard shrouds and air conditioners, and I have even like L&2'd with random stuff, but I can't bring myself to do this.
I'm so happy with it. It's like the IKEA times 12, right? Because I actually built it with my own.
No, because at least IKEA stuff comes with instructions and is intended to go together in a certain way.
When I build IKEA, it also looks like this though, so.
I've seen his studio, it's true. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching today's video. Hope you guys have had a good time watching me struggle, really, with trying to get the system up and running. It's not my fault it was a bad stick of RAM. But anyway, I could have probably started with some of the easier troubleshooting aspects rather than going right to BIOS thinking that's what it was. But anyway, a huge thank you to Micro Center also for flying us both out here and getting to check out the brand new store in Indianapolis. So if you're in the area or you're not, make your way down here. They've got huge grand opening deals. These systems, to be honest, for what we paid, would not have been possible without those deals.
It would have been 50, 60 bucks more easily without
more.
these deals. Yeah,
Easily
so
more.
good.
So anyway, again, thanks Micro Center for bringing us out, and you guys should come down here and see what Micro Center has to offer as well. As always, we'll see you in the next one.